The top 1% are following a completely different set of rules that 99% of people don't. These rules aren't taught in school, they're not discussed at work, neither are they on the news. But if you learn them and you apply them, your entire life can change. The first rule is that the rich buy assets first, and the poor people buy comfort first. Most people treat money like a reward. You work hard, you get paid, but then you reward yourself with stuff. You start getting DoorDash, you start going out to eat, you start buying new clothes, you get a car that's a little too nice. But if you look at the rich, they treat their money like a tool. Every dollar that they have is doing a specific job. When they get paid, they immediately ask, how can I make this money make me more? That means stocks, real estate, pretty much any asset that can compound over time. So don't get stuck in the idea of consuming. You want to be accumulating things. So this could look like opening an investing account, and every time you get paid, you just contribute to it on a regular basis. But this has to be a non-negotiable thing. You should tie this in with all of your other necessary expenses. Rule number 2 is that time is the most valuable asset. We're all taught to think in dollars, but the wealthy are thinking in time. Just look at the average middle-class American. We're set up in a way to trade our time for money, but the rich are using money to buy back time. So this could be them spending money and thinking to themselves, does this free me up to do something more valuable? They aren't afraid to drop $1,000 to learn some skill if they believe that they can turn that into a multi-$1,000 asset in a couple of years. Think about where you're wasting your time and what you could be doing better that could be making you more money. Because if you're using your time like the average person, then you're going to get average results. The 1% are thinking in decades, not days. Most people obsess over next week's paycheck or an upcoming bonus. The rich obsess over where they will be in the next 10 years. This is why they're calm during recessions, because they know that historically every single dip has been a buy. They know that the game isn't over in a week or a month or even a year, because they are building something that has a compounding effect. In investing, you don't get rich in a month, but you can get rich in 10 years if you play your cards right. So you can map out where you want to be in the next 10 years. What do you think the wealthy people will be consistently doing over those 10 years? Just do that. Another thing that the 1% do is they focus on ownership instead of like labor. They focus more on owning companies like in the stock market, having assets that are working for them, not having to work 40 to 40 plus hours a week, tiring themselves out. The 1% are always looking for leverage. They're trying to figure out, what's the best move I can make right now? How can I own equity in this? What's the potential upside of this? Is this a better use of my time? So someone aspiring to be wealthy could create some asset that they own 100% of, just like starting a business. Or, as previously mentioned, buying shares of companies in the stock market. If you look at the 1%, their skills are their assets. Like in investing, if you can learn the skill of investing, then that's an asset, and you can sell that to people, or you can use it yourself and make yourself money. And they aren't born knowing them, they have to learn it themselves. Skills create leverage, leverage creates freedom. And especially for people aspiring to be wealthy, they skip $6 coffees not to save money, but instead to fund their investments. If you look at the wealthy, they're not buying expensive things all the time. They buy used cars so they can put $10,000 into a business idea. They are disciplined, and disciplined is one of the foundations you need for real wealth. I'm sure you'll be surprised if you just do the complete extreme and don't spend money on coffee or going out or seeing the movies or anything like that for a month, and then looking at how much you had left over to invest. You don't have to invest all of that, but you should probably invest a significant portion and then use the rest as a reward. The biggest thing keeping people poor isn't money, it's their mindset. The 1% are questioning everything that they do. For example, if they're researching a stock, they're going to think, how relevant will this business be 10 years from now? Not today, not the numbers that it's putting up right now, but in 10 years from now, what's the competition look like? What's the moat look like around the business? All of that kind of stuff. So challenge what you believe you should be doing with your money. Do you think you're making a smart decision by spending and then saving? Or do you think it'd be smarter to save and then spend? These things won't make you rich overnight. and they might seem weird to the general public, but if you want exceptional results, you have to do exceptional things that no one's doing. You are building yourself and your portfolio brick by brick. So you have to stay consistent with it and remember that it is a long-term game. It is not a short-term game. Don't be persuaded by short-term news. Time is your most valuable asset. If you like this video, I'd appreciate if you subscribe. Have a good day.